back to the whole algorithm thing. For a while, it was food, and it was like everything I would want, but nothing I want to make.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's like Biscoff, peanut butter, tiramisu. I was like, yes,
Yum,
I want
sounds
that.
good.
But also no.
I'm never going to make it.
Never.
And it was just torturous. And then so I started watching cat videos for a while, and that kind of resets it. Like
All the Taylor Swift things you just said right now. It was torturous. All the cat things.
oh my God, this is not.
You don't even know what you're doing.
I have had to hear about this nonstop for like the last 24 hours.
I literally hit play the minute it fucking dropped. I was sitting there on Spotify. Refresh. Oh my God. Oh, I was so excited. He's like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, I don't know. What are you doing tonight?
I didn't know it also meant what I was going to be doing tonight too.
For the rest of forever. That's what you'll be doing.
Yeah.
I even fed into it a little bit and now I regret that.
I got in the car to go to the appointment, and Sarah was already playing the album. I was like, excuse you? I didn't play it at work because I knew I would get in trouble when I walked in. But instead, she was playing it when I got in the car, and I was like, fine, all bets are off. But I don't want to listen to it at work anyway because I can't focus on music and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you guys what I've been listening to for the last 2 days, but I'm going to now.
Do it.
What?
Joe Rogan talking to Graham Hancock
that's
and an
right.
archaeologist
Yeah.
about whether or not there was an earlier civilization back in like 14,000 years ago. So there you go. That's what I listen to in my spare time.
I actually kind of like that stuff.
See, I was just listening to intense instrumental music, and then Katie and I realized that we listened to the exact same things when we were working.
I've been stuck on that guy, Anthony Vincent, I think is his name. And what people do is they'll send him like a song, and then to do it in a different style, like it'll be like, do Bohemian Rhapsody in the style of System of a Down.
That guy's awesome.
Is he bald?
No, he's
He's got really long curly hair.
Because there's another guy named Tony Vincent who is a musician.
Yeah, it's Anthony Vincent official, and I will play.
I love it.
It is so fucking great.
Yeah.
He's got one. It's Baby Got Back, but as Disturbed, and it is
God.
fucking.
It's so good.
Glorious.
It literally
Glorious.
sounds like Disturbed wrote Baby Got
I
Back.
love that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was the highlight of my week when I found that. Just being honest.
So the funny thing is I follow both Tony Vincent and Anthony Vincent on Spotify.
Oh, that's so funny.
Matter of fact, I think I sent you his video about the cats.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah. Anyways, it's a great video. If you're not following him, shall we get into this?
Yes, because I am really excited.
This was a good episode.
I want us to have like a Britney Spears intro for this
Can
one, just
we
like the show.
please?
She's a lucky
Dude,
She's a but she cry.
in her lonely heart again.
If there's nothing
Missing
missing
in
in
my
my life, then why do these tears come at night? All right. Anyway, there's your
Thank
Britney
you.
Spears intro.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I mean, we are not as good as Miss Britney, of course.
What do you mean?
But
America. That's what you get.
oh my gosh. No, actually, Katie, I'm really excited that you're here. I know that originally you weren't even going to come on this episode. And it was so funny, too, because you were like, oh, like, I can't come on because you had work stuff to do tomorrow on Saturday, whatever. And I went in and I told the guys because I asked Tony, I was like, hey, are you like for sure like coming on this week? I want to make sure it's not like just going to be Rick and I. And
because we're horrible together.
yeah. and
Yeah, we don't
and
listen
so
to those episodes.
I was like,
We
I was
don't
like,
put those episodes out.
no, we never end up releasing them. We always record them and then we get done and we're like, that sucked. Let's not put that out. But anyway, and so I told them, I was like, yeah, Katie Katie's not going to be there because Tortured Poets Department releases on Friday. So she's going to be listening to that. And they were like, what? I was like, just kidding.
Neither of us were surprised.
No, like once I found out what it was, I was like, what is that? And then she's like, Taylor Swift's new album. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
I was like, I'm just kidding. She's got to work Saturday, but
I guess I could try to do an intro. I might not be good at it tonight. I'm a little blaze.
I mean, you don't have a lot of names to remember.
This is true. Do you know our names right now?
It's a big change from last week.
Guess we'll find out.
Do you know who we are? Do you know who you are?
No. I'm the guy. I pretend to be the guy that used to be the other guy. I'm sure I fucked that up, but whatever.
I mean, I won't lie. It wasn't 100% accurate.
Was not accurate at all.
If I got 5%, I'm happy.
I mean, some of the words were in there, although not in the right order. So
5%. There
you
we go.
That's a pass somewhere.
Somewhere. A Challenge Fandom Podcast. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Just like math on the challenge.
Yeah.
It's a pass.
Oh my gosh.
Just like measuring on the challenge. We only do it by dicks.
Measuring penis.
8 times 6, 35.
Stay local. Sorry, I had to.
3 times 44. Fuck.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't be on here tonight, but let's go.
We're here. We're ready to go.
Don't you do it.
I don't think he's going to do it because never mind. He left a large surprise.
A few moments later.
Did he just shit? Oh, he's just laying on paper. Jesus Christ.
I was like, how funny would that be after you assured me he would not shit?
I'm just saying, I thought the dog did it at first.
He just, oh God, really?
Yeah. I was like, it was either that or our son did it.
You smelt it, you dealt it.
I assure you, sir, I did not shit on the floor.
Right? Man, I don't know what you do in your spare time. I only see you within the confines of this video screen.
Look.
You walked off screen for a second there. I don't know what you did.
If we're really
You said you were yelling at the cat. You might have been pooping on the floor.
If we're really getting into this, I'll talk about this kind of humor because one of the worst things is when you're sitting on a toilet and you let one out and it hits the water a little bit too hard and you feel the splashback hit you right in the booty hole and you clench up. It is absolutely
cold as fuck.
Terrifying.
He's just trying to give examples now to prove he didn't poop on the floor.
Yeah, he's like, see, I know what it feels like.
I know what it's like. Have you ever even touched a pair of boobs before? Yeah, they're like sand.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the Challenge Fandom Podcast.
Dominoes, motherfucker.
I was literally.
Sounded just like one.
What's happening?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Challenge Fandom Podcast. Got myself, Ricky Hayes, beautiful wife, Corrina Hayes. We got Tony, Stats, and Infolance. Once again, that's 2 people, not 1. And then we've got Katie, Tortured Poet Society, Pahura.
No, department, not society.
Department.
You fucked it up, Rick.
God damn it, Rick.
Take it from the top.
You can't sit with us. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, I'm not Fetch. Well, everybody, welcome back. As you can see, nothing changes. I still fuck up intros, but what also doesn't change is the fact that we're going to be covering the All-Stars 4, Episode 3, True Colors.
Shining.
I fucked it up.
God damn it, Katie.
Sorry.
God damn it.
Here we are, 2 peas in a pod.
Everybody gets 1. You and Rick have already used yours, and we've just done the intro. Corrina and I are saving our fuck ups for later.
Thanks.
Everybody boo this man. Boo. Anyways.
Oh my God.
Let's jump into this shit.
Let's get it. Let's do it. I just want to start out really quick because I know that last episode for episode 2, we weren't 100% sure what the situation was with like, you know, the like Steve recapping the episode or whatever. So Tina recapping this episode just confirms like what I thought was going to happen, that it's going to be like whoever won the elimination from the previous episode is going to be who does the previous episode recap. I personally didn't enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed Steve's. It was cutesy. The thing that I did like was I liked the way that they cut and edited Tina's, where like it started with her talking in the mirror, doing her blush, and then it ended, like it ran through her whole thing, and then it ended and, you know, kind of spliced in with her finishing the other side of her makeup in the mirror. So like it felt very cohesive. So I liked that part of it, but I feel like Steve made it more fun.
It was fun. Yeah,
right?
Steve's a goofball.
Yeah, he made jokes and
he really used his hand job model experience
he sure did.
to really push through and sell that fucking intro.
We already said, Rick, you get one fuck up. You can't have two right away.
You can actually ask Corrina. She knew that one was coming. We actually had a conversation about it earlier this week.
We did, because he was talking about Steve and he's like, you know, the hand job model. I was like, no, he's not a hand job model.
I was like, that's what he said. He does hand jobs.
I was like, no, he doesn't model hand jobs. Like, he's like, look at this
You
one.
never know. Maybe he does. You don't know what's on OnlyFans. You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
I don't look at it, so I don't know.
Just saying.
Hi, Mozzie.
Yeah, see, Mozzie's like, facts.
Mozzie's like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to?
He's ready for the cat butt sparkle again.
I was going to say, he's here for his glitter butt. That's what he's here for today. That's all.
Mozzie's a lady.
But, all right.
Oh, my bad.
she wants to show her cat butt.
Yeah.
So I will say this, because this is a first, I think, for me ever on the Challenge Fandom podcast, is I have absolutely nothing negative to say about this whole episode at all.
Literally.
It was a great episode through and through.
No, it was really good.
Yeah.
There is not one thing. I mean, like,
the intro was great. There was like
started off with Brittany.
Yeah. You know, amazing. The music was amazing. The intro was good. The daily was good. The titles were hilarious.
Mm-hmm. The drama, the deliberation ceremony, the nomination ceremony, like all of it together.
Interesting.
Post nominations.
Well. Steve's background extra work was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the elimination was badass too.
We got to see Kefla go fucking Super Saiyan.
I love him.
Literally, we're going to call him Kefla this season this episode for real, because
he went fucking Super Saiyan in that elimination.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downside to it was that we lost fucking Syrus right away. And then I know people have a certain feeling about Ayanna, but she makes really great television.
She sure does.
I'm not mad about when she's on a season. So I'm kind of sad to see her go.
Yeah.
But like I said, those are the only things, is like, oh, I'm sad these people went home, but nothing about it. There wasn't foreshadowing. Everything was played well, like you guys said.
It was great.
You know, it was just a really, really good episode. And it reminded me of Golden Years Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a wrap. See you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
We told you this one would be short.
Look, I just like giving that 30,000 foot view before we get really granular with our breakdowns. And when I say granular, I mean like really good shit, like Rachel, what she says right before she goes into elimination, and plenty of other examples I can't think of right now because I'm not staring at Corrina's notes.
Oh, geez.
So,
well, here, let me help you out, because I actually have something that I wanted us all to kind of talk about, because I'm curious to see what you guys think. And I'm actually really curious to hear what the fandom thinks. And I know that it's going to be kind of a weird subject because it does involve some major fan favorites.
Oh.
How do you guys feel, and what do you guys think the situation is around Kam and Leroy having the cell phone in the house? Now, here's my question. Do you guys think it is a functioning cell phone, or is it like only like one of those things where you just have like pictures and videos on it, but there's no service? I don't know the situation, but I'm just curious, like what you guys think, how you guys felt about them having the phone and having access to that inside the house.
I don't think it's any different from when Nehemiah and them had it when they were in the house, because they all had their phones because they were taking photos and shit.
I think
that's true.
It's either that or that it was productions holding their phone and giving it to them to go through pictures because they knew it was the storyline portion.
Well, and that's the thing is like it can very easily be you guys can have your phones for this period of time, not for using it as a functional piece of technology beyond photos, videos. Has to stay on airplane mode or it's cleared. And the only things that are loaded are you can load photos and videos, but that's the only thing that you can use it for.
Right.
I don't really see it like one way or the other. I mean, it's either that or they pull a Corey and bring a stack of Polaroids. So at least they can have more photos.
Yeah.
And she's also like, in all honesty, it's Kam and Leroy. They got Kam and Leroy back after Leroy retired and Kam had a baby. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it's in their contract. And part of the negotiation was we get to have this phone because this is videos of our kid. And that's what we're doing. Because as a parent, totally get it.
Well, it could be even to kind of jump on top of that is if there's an emergency, we need to know right away so we can get out of here. We don't need you guys to be the middlemen.
Yeah, I do see all of that. And then one other thing that I just wanted to point out, just because I haven't seen it really brought up by anybody else, but I have been seeing obviously this topic questioned and talked about. But as a mom of 3 and as a mom who breastfed 3 different times, it's very difficult to keep up your milk supply when your baby is not around you. And it is like commonly known amongst breastfeeding moms that even something as simple as looking at a picture of your baby or hearing your baby's voice or cry can stimulate milk production. So that was one of the reasons that I was like, you know, she's pumping on set. So that may have been one of her, like you said, Tony, part of her contract of I need freedom to pump and I need to be able to have photos and videos of my kid and maybe like a blanket that smells like him or whatever so that I'm able to keep my milk supply going. So
she made a comment too when her and Leroy were talking about how she's like, you know, if this
it's a deal breaker.
Stops, like we're out.
Yeah. There's a lot I liked about Leroy this episode. I think he might have my line of the night as well.
He's one of them for me.
He's amazing. I missed him so much. Oh my God.
So I thought it was kind of like the only foreshadowing that I really saw and I didn't mind it. And it's only foreshadowing on the second watch through was Rachel and Ayanna talking in the beginning, you know, and giving Ayanna kind of a pep talk about calming down and, you know, kind of chilling out in there.
Don't show so much.
Yeah. And
she was trying to give her some solid advice, you know, and I give it to Rachel for that. But it's almost kind of like too little too late, you know, like why didn't you pull her aside night one? But then at the same time, can anybody really control Ayanna when she gets that fire and she wants to go off on somebody? Can anybody stop her?
She's going to sleep in her fucking uniform.
Yeah. So
I think it's also very telling. And there was a couple other parts throughout this that shows even though Rachel has been gone for, you know, what, probably 10 years or so. I forget because what Rivals or Exes was her last one.
I think so. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll check really quick.
Even though she's been gone for 10 years, like she kind of like really fluidly transitioned into playing the game again from a social and strategic point of view.
2012, so 12 years.
Yeah, so
and she said it best too. She said she's a challenger at heart.
Yeah. She ain't fucking around.
Well, and also like if you look at it, she was doing the challenger workouts too.
Oh yeah,
so
that's true.
Think about all the people that are on All Stars 4 that would have been on that as well. So she would have had the ability to kind of like have the. Actually, I don't even know what the timeline. Whether those videos were before or after. But if they were before, then you've got people like Nicole Z and other people like that who she would have had connections with through that more recently than she's actually played the game.
That's a good point.
Hive Mind, do you know who didn't do those workouts?
Who? Was it me?
Veronica.
I was like, me? Shit.
I looked at them and I was like, nope.
Yeah. Same. I saw him and I was like, no. No, thank you.
Look, I just find it so annoying. Like Veronica, like, you know, oh, people are, you know, we have to make sure people aren't, you know, they're focused on us. And they're like, it's like, no, they're not focused on you, Veronica.
Nobody gives a shit about you, Veronica. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. She's an OG. She was a fan favorite back in the day. And so, respect to her for what she's done in this game. But at the same time, like not one single fucking person, not even the worst person there, aside from you, is afraid of you in a final. Nobody. Nobody cares about you.
It would be like if I was in the final.
Literally,
It
nobody
would be the
cares.
exact same thing. Like nobody would care. They'd be like, oh, well, we know we're not getting last place.
In fact, yeah, they probably want you in the final.
Because I'm going to quit after 10 minutes into that bitch.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. Rick, it took you 19 hours to get to stage 1. It was 3 miles. It was uphill, though. Sorry. This is the really downer part of this episode, and that's Tony, not our Tony Stats and Info, but Tony Time Reigns wakes up Nicole and lets her know that he's got to go. There's a family emergency. He said it was with his brother, I believe, but
he said his brother called and said that he needed to come back immediately
or something. Yeah, something like that. And I wasn't 100% sure. And he hasn't said anything publicly, so it's not our business.
And again, this was like a year ago.
Yeah.
If not even a little bit more. So it's almost kind of like maybe he did say something when it happened and we just didn't know,
Who knows?
So,
but
I'm so sad.
Yeah, it's so sad.
He's in like peak condition and he was pretty well positioned in the game.
Yeah.
So it really sucked because of course, like we all haven't seen him back in a really long time. And that was one of the draws of All Stars 4 is like Tony's back. And then Tony's gone again.
Yeah, exactly. It really sucked. I was
Tony time was this much this time.
The clock got stopped.
The clock timed out.
Yeah, like so sad. But I was really looking forward to seeing Tony back and just, seeing just like, again, like we talked about it in the cast prediction episode, just seeing that growth from him since he's kind of settled down more with Alyssa. Right?
I believe so.
Why does that feel wrong? It's right.
You're right.
Okay.
You're correct.
But you know what was...
I don't know why it feels wrong, but it felt wrong, but I went with it anyway, so...
You know what felt right?
What felt right?
Was seeing Steve with his CPAP machine on behind the whole time while they're having this conversation.
You were laughing your ass off at that.
What are you trying to say, Rick?
It's just, that's primetime reality TV. It just shows you that there's different priorities going on in that house at the same time. And I'm very appreciative to Steve's CPAP in that moment.
Yeah.
I also rock a CPAP and I was very happy to see other CPAP folks represented.
It's the difference between All Stars and the flagship right there.
Yeah, it was also, it's also part 1 of a 2-part reason why Steve was my favorite background extra this episode.
Nice.
The other one will come up later on, but him in the background just rocking the CPAP machine while they're having this heart-to-heart is part 1.
Yeah, just the most unserious, just like crazy thing happening in the back of this super serious heart-wrenching fucking moment, and we're losing a fan favorite and Steve's just back there knocked out, just CPAP machine going like just, yeah.
And he was propped up too. That made it better. It wasn't like he was like...
I can attest, you cannot look cool wearing a CPAP machine.
It's almost like a reverse Bane.
Yeah.
Mine almost is, because mine comes down like around and sits under my nose.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that. That's
fuck.
Crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know what was really surprising to me is because usually this person's really about their convictions, and the fact that she was like,
stupid.
You know what? I'm not going to talk to Nicole. I'm not going to fucking associate with her. Tony goes home. Look, I'm here for you. All right. If you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm
see where it rekindles right there.
What? Look, I just have one fucking question. Okay. We know that All Stars is not like a super long filming time, right? It's not like the flagship where it can be like fucking like 12 weeks or anything like that, so how long between episode 2 and episode 3, how many days were in between that for the language to switch so heavily? Because Laurel was saying like, oh, I'm never going to talk to Nicole, blah, blah, blah. And Nicole's like, oh, she's still crazy for me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to work with her. And we just need to avoid each other. And then this, she's
I can
like,
never work without her.
I want to be there for Nicole. And then Nicole's like, I need her in this game. She's an amazing woman. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What? I'm like, I've got whiplash from these two. What the fuck?
Continuity. They don't have any this season because they're letting them do different outfits in their interviews. So who knows when that interview is actually done.
Yeah. Plus, like, the other thing, too, is a matter of, like, they've already been put together once as partners. So if you know that you have the ability to get somebody refocused and get their head back in the game, and you may have to rely on them for the next daily, I can see looking past what you've got to deal with, like as far as a relationship goes, and focusing on, I may have to absolutely rely on this person to stay in the game the next time that we go to a daily. So I need to make sure that her head's in the game, whether I like her or not. And that's why I kind of felt my eye. I've got cat hair in my eye. That's why I kind of felt that she was like leaning heavily on Jay still in the house, because Katie's laughing.
Sorry, I was laughing. I have to tell you why I was laughing, though. I tried to find that Dane Cook joke, and when I was looking, all I could find when he's talking about his dad in the robe. I had a really itchy eye as a kid.
There was a wizard on top
of the mountain. Sorry. Continue.
Basically, that she was focusing on the fact that Jay was still in the house, even though Tony was gone, to sort of be like, look, yes, your main person is gone, but you've still got other people in the house.
Yeah. And look, I get that point of it. I think for me, and probably for a lot of people, I presume, is that it's almost like watching the train wreck in reverse, like hitting rewind on it. Like, I already know where this goes. And so watching how it starts is so fucking cringe, because I'm like, this whole thing could have been avoided, Laurel. It could have been avoided. OK, like, you just, I get feeling sad and feeling bad for somebody because they feel sad. But at the same time, like, it's just exhausting, like, watching again. And because we know where it goes. Right.
It's the analogy
so long ago.
Yeah. The analogy I took to it was, it's like taking a 12-year-old kid and saying, we're going to put you in this NASCAR, even though you have no history driving. Go out there and do 200 miles an hour. Ugh. And you know it's a horrible fucking idea.
Yeah.
And now you just get to watch it happen.
Yeah.
And the kid gets lucky and does 2 laps. And then after that, all shit hits.
All hell breaks loose. Yeah.
And that's kind of the downside of it going for like us having so long of a gap between when it filmed and when it aired, is if it would have aired in the right sequence of like when it would have been filmed, when it would have aired normally, then they would have still like been an item and then it would have ended. But then we're not going to go back and reevaluate it like after it happened, because we've already seen it. Like, we saw it start and then we've seen it end, but instead we saw it end and now we're watching it start.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Exactly. And that's the thing that I feel is really affecting and impacting this. And that's really the only like bad thing about the whole season. Really, it's not even an episode thing. It's really just the whole season, is the amount of time that they held this. It's making the storylines not as compelling, because we already know where most of these lead. We've already, seen a lot of these friendships and relationships either flourish or, fall apart. And, so I think that that's kind of what's taking a little bit of it away. And I feel like if we didn't already know that, these moments with like Laurel and Nicole, and the moment that happens later with Kam and Kara, like, I feel like those would have hit harder if fans didn't already know that those moments were going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it also is going to go into the role that we take when breaking down Ayanna's performance in this season.
Yes.
Because, look, I personally really, really do like Ayanna. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, she's my friend or anything, but we got to talk with her. And I talked with her some one-on-one a few times, and she is an amazing woman. She truly is. Her story is something special. And I know what she's going through right now, and I'm not going to judge her as a person based on what I'm seeing on the TV edit, no matter what she did in a game for that much money, and she's doing it for her kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, that doesn't make you a bad person, in my opinion, but I am going to break down the game.
Yeah, and I agree. And I just want to back that up by just saying, like, I know, like, for me, like, at the core, like, I'm a good person. But if you put me in like a high pressure situation where I have to constantly be on the defense and feel like I'm on the defense, I'm not going to be a nice person. And I think that there are certain people that are built to, you know, emotionally and psychologically withstand games like this. And then there are certain people who just can't quite do it. And I feel like maybe these type of mindfuck games just aren't the right kind of thing for someone like Ayanna. But I don't think that it makes her a bad person. I think it just makes her not right for these types of things.
Yeah. And
so,
I mean,
and like you said, you know, we're going to break down the episode for what it was and her actions for what they were in the episode at that time during the game. But none of, you know, our opinions reflect how we actually feel about her as a person, as that really goes for most of the fucking challengers we review on here.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it goes for everything, right? We can only recap the episode based on the edit. Like, it's not like with Survivor where every episode after it comes out, they'll also kick out like a deleted scene.
Right.
We legitimately have what they've chosen to show us. And I think that also goes to, like you were saying, where the Nicole and Laurel of it all sort of weighs down the season a bit. So for my 2 cents, if you're going to hold this for a year, and you know what the fallout of this relationship is, I understand that you felt that it was a very good plot point at that time. X is rekindling whatever. It's not now. So you've held this footage for long enough that you almost could go back in and edit around it a bit more, where it doesn't need to be a plot point if it's a relationship that's no longer together and did not end on great terms. Instead, we're now watching this in, like you said, in reverse. But I'm sure there's enough other things that happened that they have footage of that they could easily have just downplayed it. They don't have to completely cut it out because it did happen, but it doesn't need to be a major plot point now. Maybe it did a year ago when they filmed it and when they probably edited it, but not now.
I disagree a little bit because I think this storyline, even though it's not present at the moment, it was present at the time. And we're watching a game that was filmed at that time. And that's going to influence the decisions that people make and the interactions that people have, because people at that moment knew that they would be together or knew that they were together. And so I think it has to be a point, because, I mean, look, I'm not a rocket scientist and I don't fucking slow down the TV every time it's the next episode on, but it was pretty clearly that Laurel was screaming her ass off at fucking Kara. Mm-hmm. And it seemed very based on things we've seen in previews with Kara saying, look, it's not going to work between you two. You're getting the wool pulled over your eyes.
Right.
So that's the only reason I disagree. Now, as for us, it's as uncomfortable as it is to watch, and I wish we could get rid of it. I think it just plays too much of a role at that point.
And that's the thing, is like, we don't know how it's going to impact the game going forward. So yeah, I can see downplaying it. It does need to be covered, but I don't need a lot of time devoted to it every episode.
The good thing is these are only 45 minutes. So you're only getting about 10, 15 minutes tops on that. And that's about all that's tolerable. But what was I could tolerate all day is hearing TJ saying, "Domino, motherfucker."
What's happening?
Because look, as soon as he said that title for the daily, I was like, they don't miss.
Yeah.
Nope.
They are not missing this season. They never miss.
No,
except
and
for on the
TJ's having
flagship.
so much fun with it. Again, like, I know we really dove into this, you know, on episode 1, but he's having fun with it, and I love it. I love to see it.
And you can tell it's a real smile. It's a real reactions. He's not faking it. I feel like he doesn't fake anything anyways, but you can just tell it's genuine.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm super loving that.
So
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask everybody how they felt about the replacement for Tony being Syrus, the alternate.
Oh, I loved it until the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I liked it while he was here. He made the most of the time that he was on the show.
He sure did.
Yeah, he's awesome. Look, Syrus looked great. You can see the work that he's been putting
Yes.
in. We've been slowly seeing that over the last couple of years. But like I just feel like from the last time we saw him to this, there's just been a huge jump. And I'm super. Was that you the whole time?
It might have been. I don't know.
Excuse you. That sounded like a toot.
But anyway, that was awesome.
See, I muted my microphone to burp, and I was like, I don't think I didn't mute it. I'm pretty sure I hit mute.
What's that fucking number down the line? Everybody heard you too.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
So anyway, no, I loved seeing Syrus come out. I loved the energy he brought. I loved the reaction he got from the cast. I loved that even the newer players like Jay were showing respect. So super cool to see Syrus. I'm glad he was here even just for one episode. It happens a little later, but even just the moment of seeing like him and Kefla sitting there talking and just kind of reminiscing over playing the game in the old day, that was a super awesome moment for me as an OG fan. So even
the way he like looks at the camera is like, "Oh, brother's got to win."
Yeah, like I love Syrus. He's so much fun. Like we interviewed him, and our interview with him was so much fun. So much fun. I love Syrus. So was super happy to see him.
So getting into this daily domino motherfucker, I'm going to say that as much as possible. I
have a question before we actually start breaking down the actual daily. So for this one, obviously it's set up in pairs and they get to just kind of like pick their own pairs. I'm curious, what do you guys like? What's your preference? Do you prefer when they're put in random pairs or when they're allowed to pick their own pairs/teams?
Random.
I feel like it depends.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say random. I knew it.
Sometimes I like random. Sometimes I like a mix of when they get to do both.
I do agree. I do like a mix. However, I like when they're able to pick their own, because then for me, it can never be like, if they do lose or whatever, it can never be like, oh, but you picked your partner. So shut the fuck up. You can't complain about it. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're assigned a partner, then it's like, it's kind of just depends on like, it's based on luck, but which is also nice. So I don't know. I don't know. But I like that they were able to pick their own partners for this one.
Give me random, because otherwise you're going to get the same fucking pairings every time. Brad and Rachel.
Well, it didn't work so well for them, Rick.
This is the only one. I mean, I'm sorry that neither of them have ever played dominoes. I don't know if they have or not, but
all they had to do was match numbers.
Listen,
literally the trick to this game is look at all your pieces and make sure you have 2 of every number.
Yeah.
With the ones that you don't have 2 of, those pieces you don't need.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's it.
I was just confused.
It wasn't that fucking hard.
Apparently it was.
I was just confused because, like, didn't TJ tell them that there were 2 extra pieces? So how did you not think to? Because then Rachel's like, oh, we messed up. We didn't blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, yeah, you didn't plan it out at all. You didn't think about the 2 additional extra pieces that you don't need. So, like, were you just not listening when TJ said that? Just woo, like.
Why aren't you listening?
Yeah, like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Going back to the teams. Even though they got to pick their own teams, I like some of the pairings, like Laurel and Brandon, Cara and Ace. I really liked
Avery and Adam, though. Like
Avery and Adam.
Right out the gate, I was like, "Ooh, I kind of like this. I kind of like this vibe."
They've got a vibe, don't they?
Okay, is this true?
No,
I need to know.
She was smiling, real glitzy-eyed.
No, Rick says that they're dating.
Really?
Yes, and that Adam has posted pictures.
How do I know
Avery.
more tea than you guys?
Is this a real life?
We've been busy with Taylor Swift, okay?
Because they know T Swift.
This has been going on for a year. It's a year.
I am blown away. That is the most adorable thing ever.
I like it.
I love it. Adam and Avery.
I will go onto his
sitting in a tree.
I'll go onto his social and I'll give you. I'll send you a tweet that he writes about how great it was to have Avery as a partner. And as soon as you read it, you're like, oh, okay. It's like reading a Taylor Swift song.
Oh, that's adorable. I love love.
Even the way he talks about her in his confessional when he's like, working with Avery is like working with Wonder Woman. And he's like talking about her stuff. I was like, dude, this guy has a crush on her. And then Rick's like, yeah, they're dating. I was like, what?
Okay, the real thing is she should have a crush on him because that's fucking Adam motherfucking Larson.
Yeah,
I got it.
She's geeking on him. You can see it.
I don't blame her. I can't blame. I'm gonna just be honest. I can't blame her.
Look, I don't blame him.
Look,
Avery's not like hard to look at.
Can we just talk about that for a second? Because I keep seeing all these posts like all over Facebook fan groups and stuff of people like, oh my God, when did Avery get hot? When did Avery get hot? She's always been hot.
She's always been a Hooters girl.
Like, what are you talking about? She's literally always been one of the most beautiful women that's ever been on fucking reality TV. You know, so yeah, no, she's definitely, that's such a cute freaking matchup.
That's like
I
saying,
love it.
When did Jordan become a beast at the challenge?
Like, exactly.
Motherfucker's always been.
I know. I was like, what? And the thing is, too, is that like, if you look at a picture of Avery, like the last time she was on the challenge, and then you look at like her now,
she looks the same.
It's not like she looks any different. She just like, obviously her looks have matured a little bit.
Her makeup's changed.
I do think she may have bought herself a new set of girls.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But she looks awesome.
But like her face, it's, you know what I mean? It's not like she like went and got a nose job and like her lips, all this crazy shit. Like she still looks exactly this. I'm not saying it like that.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying like for her to look so different that people are like, oh, how did she become hot? It's not like she had work done or, you know, it's like she literally looks exactly the same as she's always looked. So I was just like, damn, she's always been hot. Where you been? Where you been?
Well, that's the thing is like, do you know how everybody was able to tell it was Avery? Because they showed the cast of All Stars 4. Everyone looked at the photo and like, yeah, that's Avery because she looks the same she did the last time she was on.
Yes,
exactly. I'm sorry. It's stuck. It's clogged and I can't do it. I've been over here dying. Just I don't got it.
You got it.
Can I see? Thank you. Yeah, that was bad.
We're really in for it now.
That was bad news. Bad news bears.
Look, I'm going to be honest.
So that was awesome.
Yeah, no, Avery and Adam are fucking cute together. I'm all about it. This elimination was cool. I have daily. Yeah, I'm sorry. So you shouldn't have given me this mission. And Adam fucking kills it at missions. He didn't lie. Like, dude kills it at missions. Plain and simple. Who else finished up there at the top? It was
Kara and Ace were like seconds behind.
It was Avery and Adam took first, and then Kara and Ace took second.
Love them as
Jay and fucking Nicole took third. Okay, can we just give it another round of applause?
You guys owe Jay an apology.
Jay.
I didn't say anything about Jay. I even said I'm glad he's there.
He was talking to me. Dad's yelling at me. I have it in my notes that it hurts me to say that I am impressed. Good job, Jay. But I'm not knocking him. We have a lot more episodes to go. So I don't want to say anything prematurely.
We haven't gotten to an eating competition.
But he is doing a very good job.
He is. Like he's shocking me. And honestly, even aside from the competition portion, his confessionals and just everything, he's impressing me. And he was funny. He's making me eat my words a little bit already. So you know what? And look at that. All I'm going to say is I love being proven wrong by these challengers. I really do.
Yes. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Please continue to prove me wrong, Jay, because I love being proved wrong and, made to shut the fuck up because you actually.
You know what I was proved wrong about?
What?
It's because in the beginning, it was like Rachel and Brad. I was like, fucking, there's the winners right there.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
I was like, that team's killing it.
Oh, man.
See, I saw Ace and Kara and I was like, okay, done deal. And then I saw Avery and Adam. I was like, oh, never mind. Possibly not done deal, but almost done deal.
Dude, I don't know why, but I just had this feeling about Laurel and Brandon. I really liked that team together right out the gate.
They work well together.
And they work really well together. Yeah, I think it was just a matter of probably speed. I mean, they still made it into that middle group, obviously. They didn't end up in the losers round, but I really loved that team. As soon as I saw them on screen, I was like, ooh, Laurel and Brandon, get it. Okay, that was awesome. Okay. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
The others, like,
go ahead.
No, you go. I did last time.
I was going to say Ryan and Cam. I like them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked how Cam was like, are there any threes left? And Ryan's like, no.
He's like, no, I swear, I checked them all.
And then there was one left.
She literally
Is that a
pulled
three?
one
Yeah, that's a
domino.
three.
Yeah,
that's a
the
three.
first domino she looks at, and there's a 3 on it. I was like, Ryan, come on.
Also, I didn't say the song Domino that played during Domino.
Katy
That's
Perry.
one of my bops. Like, no, that's Jessie J.
Is it
Jessie
really?
J? Jessie J. Yes.
Jessie J.
Is it really? I thought it was Katy Perry, like forever and ever.
It does kind of sound like her.
It's a very firework.
It's
Yeah,
a very
it's
sounds
such a bop.
It's
It's 2014. There you go. That's what everyone sounded like in 2014.
I guess, yeah, that's true. Okay, my bad,
And they
Jessie
had the
J.
saxophone in the background.
Jessie J,
every
aka
single
Katy
song.
Perry.
They both had dark hair at one point.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
So these teams are like exactly why I like when people are able to pick their own partners, because if you remember, like when Cam tried to partner with CT, like it does provide drama, and it does provide like the people who are lower and don't get picked as quickly, it lights a fire under them anyway, just to prove people wrong. So it does enhance the game. I do agree that like when you do randomize it, that's interesting too, because then you find people that have to try to be adaptable and work together. But I do like that mix. And I like when people get to choose their own partners and stuff like this, because it's a level playing field anyway. It's a very simple daily. And that's what I liked about this one. It's what I liked about the very first one that they did, is it's very simple. So it leaves, you can leave it all on the field. It's not like something that you're going to have to absolutely go full tilt and just drain the tank. You can actually just do this, and then it depends on who you're with, but you've chosen them. And that to me, it made it more interesting. And it also made it interesting because you're like, who's connected immediately? Who was like, I'm working with you, versus who was towards the bottom and were like, I don't want to work with that person, so I'm going to work with you, versus who were the people that were just left. And then they were like, this is the team that I'm working with. So you do kind of get a little bit of that randomization where it's like, I don't want to have to be with person X, so I'm going to do my best to not be the last one standing beside them. And sometimes that means taking a partner that you wouldn't necessarily want, but you want more than you want the other person less.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. My thing is just like, if they get to pick their teams, we're never going to see Kam and Leroy partner together, because they're never going to choose to be partnered.
No, they never will.
You know, we're never going to see, if it was like the same sex partnership, we would never see an Ayanna Veronica partnership, but that would be fucking great just for the clips that they could pull, which they should have anyways.
Well, I mean, we're not going to see that now anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But you might get Adam Veronica, you might get Ace Veronica, but Jay's not going to pick Veronica.
No.
You know, Leroy's not going to pick Veronica because he might get burn voted on.
But that's the thing too, though, is that the first two, I think it's just going to be a mix, because the first two were assigned. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like, I do like that switch up where like sometimes it's assigned, sometimes it's teams, sometimes it's partners, sometimes it's individual, sometimes it's random, sometimes you get to pick. Like, you know, I think that just adds like another dynamic to the format.
Here's my caveat to it. I'm okay with it as long as it's in the beginning, like the first 4 episodes. Once we get into the later season, I'm not okay with it when you're down to like 6 people, because at that point, then people are already clicking up, or they're so clicked up, or you might get an overstacked team in that situation. I want a randomizer in there.
I would be okay with it, but only if they added a rule like they had in what was that, All Stars 3 or whatever, where
you have to rotate.
You have to rotate. You can't have the same partner back to back.
Like Invasion. Yeah, I'm good
where
with that.
You can't have them back to back. So like if you partner with somebody this daily, the next daily you have to pick somebody else. You can't do the same people.
I'm totally good with that. Totally good with that.
Or even like schoolyard pick for teams or things like that. Like just something that mixes it up enough, because you can pick your first person, but probably your second person is going to go.
Yeah. Yes. And I'd be good with that. Yeah. I would totally be good with that. I just don't like pick your partner, because it's like, it just reminds me of school. Like when they said that, because the first thing you do is you look over, like you lean out of line to your bestie, like, yeah, buddy.
At the same time, avoid eye contact with every other person.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So anyways, the way the daily played out, your first place finisher was Adam and Avery. The middle pack was Cara Ace take second, Jay Nicole take third, Laura Brandon take fourth, Jasmine Steve, what up? The hand job model, and Jazzy Jay take fifth, and then Kam and Ryan, even though they had the problem with the threes, they still take sixth. Losers was Leroy and Flora, which I thought was an interesting team, as well as Kefla and Tina, Syrus and Ayanna, Rachel and Brad, and then Veronica and Derek.
Yeah, and poor Derek.
All the BFFs are down there.
Yeah. I know, all three girls.
I wonder when's the last time that happened. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like
if
all three girls were all up for elimination.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It would have to be at least 12 years ago.
Oh, it'd have to be longer than that, because I don't think Veronica's been back. She did 30.
On the same thing, but the same time as any of the other girls.
Yeah. Well,
because Tina hasn't been back since the duel.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, and even on the duel, Veronica wasn't there.
And neither was Rachel.
Rachel wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, Rachel was on duel too, but Tina wasn't there and Veronica wasn't there. It's like, it's literally within the first 10 seasons was the last time all three of them were on a season together. And I don't know if at all during that period, if there was ever a time that all three of them were up for elimination at the exact same time. I have no idea.
That's a wild.
Because they had such a strong social game, you know, especially back then. And they were, you know, all three decent competitors, at least back then. Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting.
It's funny because I just had I'm recording Survivor Historian tomorrow morning. So I watched the challenge and Survivor back to back tonight to take notes.
Mm-hmm.
And on Survivor, there's a group of three. And this was the first episode that all three of them have been up for potential being voted out. That not one of them has been safe. So it was like an exact parallel between the two shows.
That is interesting. So after this, we get back to the house.
Woo!
Oh, wait. I forgot the most important part. TJ announced it's a double motherfucking elimination.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to say that. Yeah, it's a double.
It's a fucking double.
How do we feel about Leroy consistently being in the bottom?
I don't
mean that as any shade. It's just weird.
I love Flora, but I don't think that's a good partnership for this matchup. And then the other random partners just haven't been to his benefit in these dailies.
But he was his own partner in the first daily.
I listened to his interview on MTV's podcast, and he straight up said, he's like, I didn't train at all for this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think, I honestly, look, here's my thing.
We're about to get facts. Cold, hard facts.
It's not facts. This is just
cold,
my
hard opinion.
Interpretation, my opinion of
Corrina,
the situation. Yeah.
Do you want to hit the harp before you do it?
Okay. So here's my opinion is that I think that sometimes, especially for people in a situation like Kam and Leroy situation, it may not necessarily be about as much shit as they talk in confessionals and stuff. It may not necessarily be about showing up and, you know, being in the best shape and winning all the dailies and making it all the way to the end and winning all the money. It might just be about the fact that we just had a fucking kid and this is really difficult and life sucks and the economy sucks and everything sucks and everything's expensive and they're going to pay us a shit ton of money even if we're only there for a few weeks. So let's go handle this. And so I don't think that it's necessarily like I don't think everybody, when they get the call for the challenge or All Stars or whatever, they're like, oh, I gotta go work out for 4. Like, he's literally a brand new dad. I don't think that his main like, not saying he doesn't want to win, because he does. Whoa. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think that going into it, Leroy was like, this is my season. I'm fully prepared.
He's also still working.
Yeah.
I don't know what his schedule's like, but I know, like, what him and I do are very similar. A little different, but still similar. And I know it's hard work.
I bet he listens to Taylor Swift the whole time he works too.
100%.
Probably has it playing in the barbershop. Yeah.
And you know what? Me and you talked about this, and I probably didn't word it the best way the first time. And I'm glad that we have these conversations so I can not get us canceled. But not that Leroy and Kam are not to say anything bad about him, but what amount of money would it take you to leave when you've had a baby within the last 8 months? Not just for one of you to leave, but both of you to leave.
It depends.
And that's what it is it must have been a good amount of money to get them out the door, both of them. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, if it's making money like that for y'all, and you guys can do this and figure it out, more power to you, because I know how hard that would be, because it's fucking tough enough to leave your kids for a day at work.
Well, dude, I went to the grocery store tonight and I had to miss bedtime, and I was like, I don't know if I actually want to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, like, it's tough. It's really fucking tough. And look, and I know there's a lot of people out there. I've seen a lot of people judging, especially Kam, for this. Which, fuck y'all, because
haters gonna hate.
Yeah, if you're gonna judge Kam for something like this, why are we not judging Leroy for it as well? Like, again, just shows the fucking bias there, but that's all right. It's fine. We'll move on. Is that for me personally, for me to put myself in that kind of situation where I leave my child who's still under a year old, it had to be a lot of money. And I was also probably not in the best financial situation when the offer came around. And that's what really makes me think that, like,
I don't think they were in a bad
I'm not saying that they're in a bad financial situation, but, like, you heard the way, like, Kam talked about it, right? Like, she's like, oh, I love contributing to the household, like, financially, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, Leroy makes the joke about, like, oh, I'll just be a stay-at-home dad. You know, she's like, no, like, you have to work too. Like, I just feel that it's one of those situations, like, Kam's a planner, right? So it's not just about right now, money for right now. It's money for the future, money for the kids' future, money for, she knew she wanted to have.
That's a university right there.
Yeah. She knew she wanted to have more kids. Like, I think there's, the wedding. Like, I think there's just more drive to it than just, we got to work out and train and make sure that we win the fucking final prize money. I think they were offered a fuck ton of money just to show up. And that alone made it worth it. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think not that they were in bad financial status, that's why they would go. But I think it's more along the lines of they already make a pretty good, probably. And I'm just assuming, you know, Leroy owns his own business. You don't own a business and keep it going if you're not turning some type of profit in that industry. Secondly, we both know they have a shit ton of followers online, so they can monetize their online following and provide a good income doing that. But then you add on top of this, whatever they're getting paid out there in a lump sum for 8 weeks, and then the opportunity to win $250,000. It all of a sudden becomes a very easy decision to make. Exactly. Exactly. You know, and so I just, and the thing is again, like, not saying that they're in, like, a bad financial situation, but the whole fucking world is like, it's very difficult to survive off of even 2 incomes right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, if a situation like that comes along, and it's not like they just fucking up and left their baby just fucking laying on the couch. Like, Kingston was with, like, her parents or Leroy's parents. I'm not exactly. Leroy's sister. Okay. So, like, was with very close, trusted family. You know what I mean? It's not like they just hired a fucking babysitter and took off to go fucking film and have a vacation in wherever the fuck they're filming right now. Like, it was probably, in my opinion, one of the most difficult decisions that they ever had to make. Oh, 100%. He said that they almost didn't come. He was like, we had such a hard time leaving him. He's like, even in the airport. Like, yes, I feel like I heard either a clip or they said it in a confessional or something about how, like, at the airport, Kam almost turned around and was like, no, fuck this, I'm not going. You know, so I think people are quick to judge, like parents who leave their kids, even for opportunities like this. But in my opinion, if the child is taken care of, they're with somebody who knows them and they're loved and they're well taken care of, and you have an opportunity to provide a situation for your child that you wouldn't normally, like a financial situation, to this extreme measure, you would almost be stupid to not take it. And that being said, I personally would not be able to do it. I literally would break down. And
you have a hard time when we go on a 4-day vacation with our kids.
I am I'm fucking panicking, not only about going to Michigan in September for 5 days and being away from all my kids, but my youngest is starting kindergarten this year and I will have no more kids at home. And I am already going into like empty nest syndrome, and my kids aren't even gone or grown or anything. They're just not home during the day anymore. And I don't know I already don't know what to do. All right, we got.
I'll come visit you.
Yeah, we'll come and you can take care of us.
We'll just have a great Taylor Swift party all up in your house.
I love you guys. I love you guys both, but no.
No, it's already been approved. You're outvoted. Here's what I'll say about it. I am also a parent. We have a 3-year-old, a 20-month-old, and we have one due in August.
August 8th.
August. Well, yeah, we'll see what we can do. August 16th as of right now.
8 days ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Pretty close.
If Cam turned around in the airport and went home,
I
would not judge her for a fucking second, because that's your kid. Like, that is your prerogative right then. I would not fault her. So by the same math, I cannot fault her for going.
Exactly.
Because she is still doing absolutely everything that she has to do, or she feels that she has to do. And that's that is their decision. And they are we've seen what they're like as parents. They're fucking badass parents.
Hell yeah.
The two of them in that moment at the beginning, we were talking about the cell phone, when they were having that moment, I can think of I know the exact video that of Malcolm and Aubrey that I would be watching, and I would know every part of that video, because that's what it's like to be a parent when you're away. You're watching the videos, you're looking at the pictures, everything like that. But she's pumping every 3 or 4 hours.
Yep.
When that was Sarah, we got up every 3 to 4 hours. So to think about being on that amount of sleep, because it's usually it can be a 45-minute to hour and a half process, depending on what you're doing.
Yep.
Then you're going to get back into bed, try to get back to sleep, which is going to take a little bit. It's not like you hit the pillow and you're out. And then you're going to get up in 3 or 4 hours and do it all over again. And eventually you're going to have to get up and start your day. So the fact that she has added all of that on top of playing this game in that house with all of those different elements.
Yep.
She is doing more than anyone else in that fucking house right now. And probably more than most people have done on any season of the challenge that we have seen.
That is why she is Killer Cam.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%. And that's the thing is dude, she could literally go to TJ tomorrow and be like, I quit. And I would have been all right, that's cool.
No
whatever.
problem with it. No problem with it 100%. At all.
Apparently I had feelings about this.
And honestly, and speaking of quitting, I just want to give her massive fucking props, because not only could she walk to TJ and quit, but at this point, her son is either at or almost at 1 year old. Technically, she could be fuck the breastfeeding thing. I've done it for the first year, a lot of moms do, and nothing against moms who do or don't. I was done before year 1, so literally, I'm not judging you guys. I was done around month 7, and I was like, shit, I can't do this anymore.
I couldn't help at all either. I tried.
So so literally no judging at all, because I did it. So she very easily could be fuck this breastfeeding thing. I did it for a year. He got a year of that nutrition, blah, blah, blah. But she doesn't. She sticks it out, adds it into her routine. That's what tells me that this was a very difficult decision for her, and it's still difficult on her every single day. And she is just holding on to all the things that try to keep it as normal as possible. And, I really, really respect her for that, because I couldn't do it. So,
all right, I'm going to move us along.
Yeah, sorry. I know we just went on like a 20-minute rant about how awesome Cam is.
Like, I was hoping we would be done in 15 minutes, and that's not going to happen.
We still can be.
So right after the daily, we get this part where Brandon goes up to, I forget who it was.
It was Flora.
Flora
was talking to Brandon and Jasmine.
Yeah, and how Flora and Brandon heard Ayanna telling Syrus, like, it's going to end up coming down to Kefla, you, Leroy, Brandon, and a lot of people want to break up Kam and Leroy. And obviously Brandon's working with Kam and Leroy, and she didn't say, I want to break them up, but she's saying a lot of people do. To Syrus, who just entered the game. And look, I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's a sneaky line. That's a sneaky line.
It's a sneaky line, but if we're gonna be technical about it, she didn't say she said a lot of people.
But why is she still bringing it up to people if she's in an
brand new in the
them?
game? Syrus is brand new in the game, and that's her boy. She knows Syrus.
Yeah, okay, well, that's fine. But you've still, at this point, choosing a side.
Oh, yeah, you 100% are. And look, I'm not faulting Ayanna for her game. I'm just playing a technicality just to do it, to be the devil's advocate.
I get it.
But this is basically the line that carries the rest of this episode.
Yeah, because Brandon goes and tells Kam and Leroy.
Well, it was going to go around that house, no matter what.
He's in an alliance with them.
Yeah,
and like
of course
he said,
he would.
Who the fuck do you think you're going to convince to try to split up Kam and Royley?
Literally.
Who are you going to convince in this house to do that right now? Like maybe later down the line in the game. But when there's still so many like kind of outlier people around, who the fuck are you going to convince to do that?
And you're telling me you... Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, nobody's going to take that chance, because what happens if you send Kam in against somebody and you send Leroy in against somebody and neither one of them go home? They're going to destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing. I think it's a smart move to want to get them out.
Brilliant.
It's not a smart move to vocalize it.
No, you keep that shit on the low. You hope to God they get last place and you go low key. And here's my thing. And what I was going to say to be a smartass was, at this point in the episode, no, you are not getting Kam or Leroy out.
No.
After this deliberation and nomination,
yes,
I think you can make a real argument for getting Kam out, because I don't believe she handled it correctly.
I agree.
Correct.
And, the information that we're talking about, obviously, with what Ayanna said during the daily that Brandon's telling them, then Laurel finds out when they're at the club, and Laurel tries to go to Ayanna and ask her some roundabout questions, doesn't get anywhere.
That camper was cool, though.
That camper was fucking badass.
Yeah, it was really cool. I don't know, man. This whole moment of Laurel and Ayanna, I didn't really know how I felt about this. One, because I feel like a lot of the conversation was missing. It more turned into, I feel like Laurel kind of hinting to Ayanna, like, you're the one, who would you want? Or who do you don't want, kind of thing. Rather than her trying to get any of the information about who Ayanna would want to be voted for.
Yeah.
And then I also I don't know, man. Look, again, I really love Ayanna and I really feel for her situation, but I didn't like how she was like, I hope the rest of the cast can, put their games and their feelings aside and give me a chance and all this stuff. And I'm like, where was this before you fucking blew the house up and lit it on fire? Where was this concern and care for your game and for winning the money? Because if it was that important to you, in my opinion, none of that other stuff would have even happened. Because I know for me, I'm a dramatic motherfucker. Okay, so
what?
Yeah,
never.
Lies.
So I would if I was in that situation where I had to be there and I'm trying to make money for my kids and stuff, I'd just be sitting in my room. I would talk to the least amount of people as possible just to stay in the game and just keep my fucking mouth shut, And so it's just kind of
CT approach. Oh yeah.
Right. Just hide behind the trees. Just
blend in.
Yeah, So it's just where was that concern for the game? Like you want everybody else to be concerned for your game, but where was your own concern for your game, you know?
So inevitably this leads back to the house where Kam goes to confront Ayanna. And look, I'm not a psychic or anything, but even I could read in an instant that this was not the moment to have this conversation with Ayanna.
This was so bad. All of it. Like,
and Ayanna even gave her the heads up. She's like, I'm really tired. Can we just do this tomorrow? And Kam was like, no, I really want to talk about it right now. And I'd be like,
I get it from both sides.
Yeah, because like if you've been dwelling on this all afternoon, evening, because of what somebody else said in the house, you want to put it to bed so you can actually also go to bed. But on the flip side, Ayanna's like, I'm tired and I don't want to talk about this right now. We can talk about it tomorrow. But then that sort of like, it gives Ayanna a great night's sleep and it gives Kam a shitty night's sleep. So I can see why Kam pushed it. I can see why Ayanna didn't want to. And just before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, this is part 2 of Steve being my background extra MVP. Is when he walks into the room while it's all going down and like one continuous motion into the room, sees what's happening, goes like this, and then keeps going. And I have never seen somebody fast walk down a hallway any quicker than Steve did in that moment.
I love that at any moment he's putting his hand up for something.
Yeah.
We need Steve to do the glitter thing for us. Yeah.
Jazz hands. This turns into exactly what Rachel was telling Ayanna not to do in the earlier episode.
It
which
was
is
so cringe.
This was the only foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it was like 5 shadowing.
Everybody was a target. Like, did you tell them this? Did you tell them? I like how they talked to Brandon. Brandon's like, I ain't talked to you in 3 days. And then he goes to his confessional. He's like, yep, I told them that.
He's laughing. He's like, yeah, I told him that. Like, I love Brandon so much.
Dude, some
Brandon,
of his
like, it's so nice to have Brandon back.
Yes.
Like, I've always really enjoyed Brandon, but this is like absolutely prime Brandon. Not that he was ever not in his prime.
Right.
But this is like perfect Brandon. It's the best of all of the different Brandons from all the different seasons, just in like one.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, I love Brandon. You know, he definitely brought a little bit of like comedic relief to this moment. You know, but it was such a cringe moment from start to finish. Again, I get why Kam pushed it. They share a room. You know, they're like roommates. People. But it was just, yeah, it was
Show me the people.
Show me the people. Who said it?
Who said it?
Also, I did notice Ayanna likes to, or at least with 2 people so far, with Janelle, she was like, see, this is what she does. And then with this Kam situation, she was like, is this what Killer Kam does?
Yeah.
I was like, is this what you do?
Yeah.
I like how she fucking tried to point that shit at Jazz too, real quick. And Jazz
was having none of it.
Not today.
And Jasmine was like, no,
she said the bride of Chucky's back.
You saw that flip just go flink, like, and she turned into old Jazz real fucking quick.
Real fast.
We all know I'm not one for drama, and I'm not one for like that side of the show. But I fucking love Jazz. And like, when that started to happen, the only thing I could think of is her like up against Teresa with her head straight like this, looking at Teresa and just not backing down.
Yeah.
And like Sarah said when we were watching it, she's like, Jasmine has to be like one of my favorite people to watch on this show because she doesn't back down from anything. She will just go full tilt, whatever the situation is. And it's a switch. Like, she walked into that room and then like, Jazz was there.
Yeah.
It's not a buildup like how you push down on a gas pedal and you accelerate. It's like a light switch. It's either off or it's on. And it gets flipped rather easily.
You just bump it.
Yeah.
It's like a dimmer switch. Clap
on. I love her. She's so much fucking fun. But it was great.
Did you guys see Brad just eating a brownie?
Yes. That was amazing.
That would have been me in that situation.
Dude, yeah.
This is why I appreciate Katie. My next note, Brad just eating a brownie.
Yep. No, that literally would be me, dude. Like if there was like drama, I would just be sitting there just eating, watching, just enjoying, soaking it up. Yes, exactly.
So go ahead.
Really quick, I wanted to get your guys' opinions on this because for me personally, this was like a shady shot. So after this whole like blow up thing, we get a confessional from Ayanna and she takes direct shots at Kam in a confessional saying Kam will never understand because I don't have just alliances on a show type of friends or Instagram friends. I have real friends. And I was like, no, that's a fucking shot. That's a shot, girl. Like, what?
It is a shot across the bow. Like, I'll be honest.
God damn, dude. Like, that's some...
It's a bit of a low blow.
Right? Okay, so I was like, I didn't know if I was the only one who took it like that, but I was like, damn.
It's also a retroactive low blow because Kam wouldn't have even known until we see the confessionals now a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if it happened to me, my stomach would hurt. Just gonna put that out there.
Oh my God.
Because it's a low blow.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know, but I did like how the next morning after this whole blow up happens, it shows Leroy and Kam talking, and Leroy's like, you know, do you think we can salvage a relationship? And Cam's like, she's gone. She doesn't exist. And
she didn't even say she. She said that person no longer exists to me.
I like how in Leroy's confessional, he's like, I wish, you know, I hope they work it out, but I ain't Dr. Phil.
I'm not Dr. Phil. That was like, one of my lines of the night.
Yeah, I fucking love that so much. That was pretty much my line of the night.
He's amazing. He's so, I love him. I love him.
All right. So this is, look, in
my opinion, this is the biggest moment of the night.
This is, and it's the most impressive thing. It goes back to what I said earlier, and I'm a Rachel fan, and you know why. And she's been gone for over 10 years, and she comes back in against one of the GOATs, you know, not arguably one of the GOATs in Cara. No matter how you slice it, she's one of them. She's on the Mount Rushmore. I shouldn't say GOAT. Sorry. She's on the Mount Rushmore. That's a better way of saying it.
It's fine.
Anyways, Rachel, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Rachel fucking manipulated her way through this whole conversation.
Yeah.
And not manipulated as far as took advantage, but she persuaded and pushed that conversation how she wanted to get the answer and the results that she wanted. She upheld her end of it.
She did. She did.
But she directed that conversation.
It was so impressive because like literally I noticed, and I didn't really pick up on it until the second watch through, but I noticed that as Rachel's talking to Cara, she's almost just like kind of presenting something and just like seeing if Cara is going to take the bait, right? Take the platter. And what I found really funny is while they were having their conversation, if you pay attention to Cara and her voice, her mannerisms, the looks on her face, like her facial expressions and stuff, you can tell that her whole like, you know, I won't vote you in because us star holders have to vote different and I have to play default. She's almost trying to convince herself. And I feel like it's really Rachel convincing Cara, but through Cara having that realization of her own. It's almost like allowing somebody to have the idea on their own, but just kind of like dropping the seeds to give them the idea, but then letting them think they came up with it on their own. I think that's what Rachel did in this moment. At least that's what I got from the edit. And it was fucking masterful, absolutely beautiful. And it worked out perfectly.
It's also the best move for both of them because they are Stargates. I'm going to keep using it. And like, if both of them present a united front, then hi, Mozzie.
Stop trying to make facts happen.
I'm going to. I don't fucking care. Stargates is great, and I'm going to keep using it. You can have issues with it.
It's Starjay, thank you.
Starjay.
Only if it's in Croatia. It's the region of Croatia. In South Africa, it's Stargates. Because really, like, if the two of them present an absolutely united front, I have a feeling that the girls are just going to continually fight over that third star. Eventually, they're going to want to take a shot at Rachel and Kara because no one wants to see them in the end. But they have to do it at a point where Rachel and Kara aren't going to turn around and come right back at them. And if they're both together, then you potentially have two of the strongest women in the house coming after you for taking one of their stars when the other one still has one. It's much easier to just play keep away with the third star.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is we're going to get down. Its best analogy is it's musical chairs. Someone's going to get the seat pulled real quick.
Yeah,
and it's going to happen. It's going to happen fast, especially that we got double elimination in episode 3.
Yeah.
You know, that's
which was surprising
quick.
Considering we're already losing people just by like leaving or like having
a light bulb.
I just had a light bulb.
I saw it go off. I watched it happen.
Something I meant to mention when we brought up that it was a double elimination, but then we didn't bring up that it was a double elimination, so I didn't get to mention this.
I brought up it was a double elimination.
No, you didn't.
I said it was a double elimination.
He did.
You know what?
Thank you.
She'll see it when she edits it.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Just kidding.
Cut. Resume. Please go.
LOL.
No, what were you going to say?
JK.
No,
it's later. So moving on.
So I got called.
Okay, no, I will just say it now. Who cares?
A liar for no reason.
I thought TJ said this when he announced that it would be a double elimination at the daily, but he doesn't actually say it until he's welcoming everybody into the double elimination at the end. But what he says is, welcome to the first double elimination of All Stars 4, which means we're gonna get more. We're gonna have more double eliminations this season, and I'm fucking stoked because I feel like this is gonna be just kind of an accelerated season, and I'm excited to see a little bit of pressure put on these players and not give them fucking 20 goddamn weeks to figure this shit out. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, sorry. Back to nominations. Well, that's where we were.
I want to grab a cup of coffee real quick. So
we can't. Okay, that's fine.
I can't get coffee.
That's fine. I'm just you wanted to be done by 1:30. We're already 5 minutes over that. I thought we were just going to get through the rest of this. So, but if you want to take a break and go get coffee and do all your shit, go.
No,
for
it.
Mom and Dad are fighting.
They're fighting.
We'll just do it.
We should go to our room and watch TV.
So yes, we get to nominations, and I like how Brandon dealt with this when he goes, "Look, I've talked to the guys, and they're good with it's going to be Kefla and Syrus."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Okay, cool." So it's Kefla and Syrus.
Both guys said they were fine with it.
Yeah,
totally makes that vote easy. So screw it, whatever. I think you know what. Fuck the first one. They both knew that it was going to be them regardless. So I don't blame him. But what I did really like is when he started the vote for the girls and he's like, if I could vote for Ayanna twice, I would, but that would mean she'd come back. So Ayanna and Rachel. I was like, oh, damn, the shade. Woof. Damn, Brandon.
He's got the jokes.
He's really doing well this season. I'm so happy to see it.
You can tell
really nice.
You can tell he's like happy to be back. Like he's really embracing the, just the atmosphere and just being back on TV and all of that. And I love it.
Up next, when they get into the women's, Kam takes the floor and she goes, I'm going to be voting for Ayanna and Rachel, because I think she has the best chance to beat Ayanna. And, I'm hoping everyone will have my back on this. And then when we go through the votes, when somebody says they'll do that, she goes, thank you. I really appreciate you. And the first one, I was like, okay. But I think you noticed this too. You talked to me about it, was the fact that she brought it up multiple times every time someone voted her way. And she looked super disappointed when they got to fucking,
like Ace, who wouldn't vote for Rachel. Or, Derek, Ryan.
They're like, I've known Rachel 20 years. I can't say her name.
I don't know. I'm curious to see how you all feel about this and about her kind of approaching, taking control of the nominations in this way. For me personally, it was very reminiscent of what season was that where she was walking around with the fucking the fur rug, wearing it as a robe thing, and it almost like to your head kind of thing, like it's going a little bit to her head. And I think maybe the way everybody reacted to her kind of putting a stop on Leroy's name last week, and she was like, oh, I have this kind of power. And it was just like,
Yeah.
you know, and again, nothing against Killer Kam. I fucking
If
love
it
her.
works.
She's a goddamn queen. And yeah, if it works, it works. But at the same time, I personally was not a fan on how she approached this specific nomination.
No, neither was I. I found like, and I get it. I get what you're trying to do, but you've got people who have known various players for long periods of time, and they're not going to vote for them. Cool. But when it got to Kara, and she said, like, I'm voting Ayanna because she needs to go in. I wasn't cool with what happened last night.
Mhm.
Yep.
But I'm not voting for Rachel because I also have to protect myself because we're both Stargates. And with that, it became a matter of I'm giving you what you want, and I am willing to send Ayanna down.
Mhm.
But I also need to play my own game, which is why I have 2 votes. One is doing what you want and what I feel is right based on what happened. The other is protecting me and my place in this game because it's a conversation that I have had. I don't have to do everything that you say. And I've had a conversation with Rachel, and this is how I keep my star. And when she said that, and then Kam wasn't cool with it, that's when I had a real issue. Because if you explain that it's best for your game, while still doing technically what she said, and it was already enough votes, like you didn't need the extra vote.
That part, though.
She was already going in. And the thing that really got me is when she's like, there's people who have just met for the first time versus people that like I expected to have my back, like Kara. Kara has a star that she has to protect. Jazz and Jay don't.
Yeah.
They have no skin in the game. It does not matter to them who goes in, who comes back at this point.
Right.
Because nobody's going to take their non-existent star. Whereas Kara actually has something to protect at this point. So I didn't like the comparison, and I didn't like the reaction to Kara not voting for Rachel specifically, especially after 1, explaining her case, and 2, Rachel was going in anyway.
Right. And that's my thing. Because look, I understand I understand both sides of this, right? I understand where Kara's coming from with not wanting to vote for Rachel because they're both star holders.
Stargates.
I understand. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get on board with Stargates. I understand, but I also understand where Kam's coming from as coming into this thinking that Kara was like, we're literally like friends, like close friends outside of the house. And so I think there was just kind of that assumption that like we are number ones and no matter what, you're going to have my fucking back and I'm going to have yours. And so I think that this moment was the realization for Kam that maybe her and Kara aren't as close in the game as she thought that they were. And, you know, that's a difficult emotion to deal with, you know, especially when you're just kind of learning it like publicly in front of everybody. And again, I think it's kind of that like ego thing of like, oh, I'm going to get my way. I'm going to get my way. And then your number one person doesn't vote. You know what I mean? So it almost felt like an ego hit to me is how I kind of read that situation between Kam and Kara, is that it hit Kam in the ego. That Kara was not voting the way that the exact way she wanted. But the reason that I don't like fully support Kam's like freak out over this is because what she wanted to happen was going to happen anyway. Kara's vote had no bearing on whether or not Rachel was going to go in. Like Rachel already had enough votes that she was going to go in with Ayanna. So I don't know. I just like, I see both sides of it, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I just think that Kam was a lot at nominations from start to finish.
I think that Kara could have easily, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Kara could have easily switched this and gotten herself not in this predicament with Kam and say, Brandon, you're keeping track of the vote. What's the vote? And once you see that your vote for Rachel going in or not going in is not affecting it, you can say, Kam, if it was close, I would vote Rachel to put it over. But since it's not, I have a deal that she won't come after my star and you're still going to get her to go in. So I'm going to go this way.
Right.
Or you just play it like how I think you should play it, which is I'm playing the fucking game for me, not for you.
Yeah. And that's,
And if it works out that we're going in the same direction all the time, then yes. But right now we're not going in the same direction on this decision. And it's my game.
That's the thing is like Kam wanted Kara to use both of her votes to do exactly what Kam said. Kara said, I need this. I need to not vote Rachel because that's what's best for my game. So, but Kam wasn't reciprocating that.
Right.
So Kam wanted Kara to do what was best for Kam's game, but Kam wouldn't relent on what was best for Kara's game.
Right. Right. Exactly. It's that two-way street thing, And I also think, and something that I've just kind of noticed, through the different variations of the challenge is that I think that people, and I don't even think it's like an eras thing or an age thing or a generation thing or anything like that. I think it's just varies from person to person, is that a lot of people look at alliances different, right? Like I've noticed that some people look at alliances as like, when I make an alliance with you, that means that I'm never going to say your name. You're never going to say my name. And if I hear somebody thinking about putting you in or whatever, I'm going to give you a heads up, whatever. And then there are other people who make an alliance, and to them, like, that's ride or die, all or nothing. You vote exactly my way. I vote exactly your way. We are tied together 100%. And I don't view alliances that way.
No, they're fluid.
If there's, it's got to be fluid, right? If there's no benefit in that situation for me, then what's the fucking point? So I don't know. I feel like at least in this moment, and again, no judgment on Kam. I know she's going through a lot, and the fucking hormone, everything is just out of control for that woman right now. So again, major props to her for even being there. I just feel like, I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of this. I didn't like how this was handled. And I feel like it could have gone such a different way.
It just played off as Kam playing her hand too hard.
Yes.
And it's not going to work out for her in the long run, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
It's going to bite her in the ass the way she played this.
Yeah.
I did think it was really funny that Ace burn voted on Veronica, then asked if it was okay to burn vote on Veronica. I thought that was very amusing. When the votes are finally revealed, Ayanna, kind of freaks out a little bit. And she's like, I forget exactly what she was
talking in a confessional, and she's like, oh, Kam orchestrated a hit that landed dead on. And I guess it worked because she's loud and intimidating. I was like, what? Who is talking right now? Pot, meat, kettle. All right. What are we talking about? Because you were the loudest, most intimidating thing in the house last night. How the fuck did you think everybody wasn't going to vote for you? Oh my God. So, I don't know. What?
Well, yeah. Like, it's even like looking back at that, where it was her asking everyone, no one's going to say yes in that moment. Kam and Leroy aren't going to say, yeah, these are the people who took it upon themselves to come and tell me when you said something. Like, it's no win for that whole thing. All of that night. The only person who won was Steve, who immediately removed himself from the situation, and Brad, who got a brownie out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it was wild, but from there, we move right into the elimination because we've got a double to do. And so this elimination is called Down the Tube.
Oh, that's so fucking easy. I mean, like my life.
Is it easy?
Like the fucking shit that was the season 39.
Okay, I know that we all here noticed it, but did everybody out there in the fandom, did y'all notice Laurel's beanie?
Of course.
Yep.
Do you have a question?
It was amazing.
Amazing.
Fantastic branding.
Yeah.
Super on point.
Great marketing, Laurel. I love this.
See, like I said earlier, it's when your branding meets your customer expectations.
Full circle.
Yep, exactly. I really like this elimination setup with the spinning tube. Because when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is Darrell Jordan all over again, except it spins now.
It's like a spinning hall brawl almost.
Yeah, with a giant
ball.
With a ball in.
It's a giant fucking yoga ball.
Yeah, like it's like a reverse balls in. Like you got to get the ball out like a reverse balls in hall brawl,
babe. It's like
I don't even know.
Balls in
you know what?
baby.
Hall ball.
I know. I'm making it so hard for you, aren't I?
Or the balls.
That's what she said.
We love talking about balls.
The balls
it's
going
the
in and
reverse
out.
balls in, and the Alabama Hot Pocket, and the Angry Dragon, the fucking Dirty Pirate.
Guys, don't look those up on Urban Dictionary. You don't want
And
to
if so,
know.
use somebody else's phone.
If you do, it's
Yes,
busting.
you use somebody else's phone, not lose. I don't know. Anyway,
So,
Hall ball.
okay, I gotta say this. Once again, music on point, because
Oh my
gosh.
when
So
Kefla
Yes.
and fucking Cyrus start, we get DMX's
It's so
X.
good.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
it
So
was
on
really
point.
good. It was
So
it was
good.
That
really
was
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
This was a fun elimination, honestly. Like this one's a little bit difficult to like really recap, but it was a fun elimination. I really appreciated the second rounds in both of the like the men and women. I feel like the first rounds was just kind of like the tester, right? Because
yeah, like figuring it out.
yeah, because first round with Kefla and Syrus, like Kefla just fucking just.
Dude.
And just knocked Cyrus right out of that
he
thing.
went fucking Super Saiyan on the
Yes.
second one.
The
though.
second one,
He was
dude.
like, "Rah!"
I literally
Sorry, go ahead.
I literally thought I was watching a Dragon Ball episode. Like I was like, is he gonna stop screaming, or are we just gonna scream all the way through? It's fine, whatever you gotta do to get through the moment. It's But it was freaking awesome though, because I'll be honest, I didn't expect that. Like
No.
I did,
Nobody
because
did,
that's
I
the
don't
thing is
think.
when Kefla was playing the challenge, I think they even said this in the episode, there weren't like daily challenges like this, right? So we've never really gotten to see
It was his
Kefla.
first elimination win.
Yeah. So like it was so cool to just like see him just go in, absolutely kick ass. And it wasn't against like some, like easy player. Like he took out Syrus, and Cyrus was giving it his all in that second
Heck
second
yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Hell
He
yeah.
had his feet like locked in.
Look, Cyrus isn't a joke, but
No.
Kefla, like, if you would have asked me who's going to win this, I'm going to tell you Kefla just by his build. And he's no slouch. You see it.
But experience counts too, and that's
it-
kind of where
it
where
does.
my mind went.
I agree. It counts, but not in this. This was more brute strength. And I think the fact that he turned Super Saiyan in that tube proves that point, because it wasn't much, there was some endurance, but size played such a large portion in this.
Yeah,
With
no,
that
it was
being
awesome.
said, it wasn't made easy by Cyrus by any means.
No, Cyrus held there for quite a while at the end.
I'd like to know how long they were, not to bring it back up timers, but I would like to know how long that they were in this like specific elimination plan.
Yeah.
Timers would be
100%.
great. Timers would be lovely.
I would also like to know whether it was best 2 of 3 or best 3 of 5,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he said the first person to 2 when it wasn't on TJ.
Right.
So
Oh.
my favorite part of this episode, and it's funny because last week, you remember when Tony came in and he acted like he hurt his knee and then did the like gritty.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh, it'd be really funny if he did the one where he pretends to hurt his back and then like booty twerks or whatever it is. And then seeing Kefla get out and act like he had a fucking Charlie horse.
I really thought he hurt himself. Or
Everybody
something was wrong.
did. Did you hear the cast? Like everybody was like, "Oh, bro, are you okay? Just sit down, just stretch it out. You'll be all right." And then he's like,
Did you hear the music they played when he did it? It was like a virgin.
"Yeah, it was so good."
First time.
The editing this season is just
So
Yeah,
good.
so good.
amazing, amazing.
Could we have, I'd like to make a request to MTV, Buneman Murray, whoever. Can we just have the same like people that do All Stars do Challenge 40?
Do all of them?
it? Yeah, no shit.
Special request, asking for a friend. Just throwing that out there. I know you guys like our ideas, so
Right?
So
here we go.
We know you're listening.
yeah.
So then we get into the women's round. Rachel versus Ayanna.
Rachel.
fucking Ayanna eats her ass up in those first like 15 seconds. And then she starts screaming at Kam from inside the fucking elimination. And she's like, if you want me, Kam, you gotta come give me your damn self. I was like, God damn.
Too early. Premature.
What Rachel said in the beginning had me cracking up, though. She's like, I'm going to fight till my arms
fall off and my legs fall off.
My
body falls off.
I was like,
what's your body falling off of? I'm just
your neck.
I guess.
It brings it all back to when her and Brad were doing the challenge and she was like, muscle on muscle.
Yeah.
What's funny, I also wrote in my notes, Rachel has partnered with Brad for too long. She has big eyes.
She was just really excited for this. And I feel bad because it is friend against friend. It's like mentor versus student in this situation because of Ayanna's view on Rachel and getting her fitness on track. But watching these two go at it, it was a fairly even match for a little while. It's just Rachel's endurance is on a different level, and she just outlasted Ayanna is what really happened.
Yeah.
Well, was anyone else super confused when the ball went past Ayanna? And I was like, were they supposed to just get the ball out of the tube, or were they supposed to get the person out of the tube?
I thought they were supposed to knock them out, and I was like, oh, wait, I guess it's just a ball?
We had just, literally just been discussing that when it was happening between Kefla and Syrus.
Because he was on the side.
Yeah, and so I was already kind of expecting, maybe something like that. So I wasn't super shocked when it happened. But I will say that I'm not entirely sure that I do like that. I think it would have been better if you knock the ball out without knocking your opponent out, reset and start over.
See, I thought something else entirely. I thought when they get the ball out, that was
then you can push the person.
The ball is used to push the person out because you're on either side of that, and that's sort of like the double-decker hall brawl sort of way to ensure that you're not person on person. But if the ball goes out and you're both still in, somebody has to go out of that tube one way or the other. So I thought that it was going to end up being that when the ball went past, I was like, oh, well, guess we're throwing hands. And then they were just like, point for Rachel. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think, and look, I really like Ayanna. I like Ayanna from what I saw in All Stars 2. I liked Ayanna from what I saw in previous seasons of the challenge in Road Rules Semester at Sea. But when we got to that second round and she was gassed, she had nothing left, and she just kept repeating her kid's name so she wouldn't quit. And they started playing True Colors. I almost shed a tear. That shit was sweet.
It was very sweet. I thought it was very cute. Very sweet how she was yelling her kids' names and kind of trying to use that for motivation against Rachel. Unfortunately,
it didn't work.
Rachel has kids of her own. So I guarantee you, even though Rachel wasn't screaming their names out, she was definitely thinking about her kids too. And so it just kind of, in my opinion, came down to that, that endurance and that willpower. It wasn't like, I don't know.
She hit that Uno reverse card. I can't see you, bitch.
As Devin says, the ultimate fuck you card.
Yeah,
the ultimate fuck you card. You're my friend, but I got kids too, bitch.
That's why All Stars 4 is that's why All Stars as a show is pretty damn cool, because you've got parents. And you know what? You've got a couple people that are on the flagship that have kids, and you see how that changes how aggressively they play in certain situations. So when you've got a show where the bulk of the people have kids, that kind of puts it to a whole different level. You've seen these people compete in their youth. Now you're seeing these people compete with a lot more on the line than just, I might have to go home and wait till next season.
It's what Tech said. In the flagship, you got nothing to lose, but in All Stars, you got everything to lose.
So I have a question. Actually, you saying that, Tony, just kind of struck something in my brain. I have a quick question I want to ask you guys. And fandom out there listening, if you guys want to write in and let me know your thoughts as well, I would love to hear what you guys think. I've noticed, especially for us, kind of older challenge fans, and I mean older as in our age, not when you started watching, but
get my cane out.
but our age.
Get off my lawn.
I feel like a lot of us resonate a lot more with All Stars, and I'm wondering if it's necessarily because like, oh, we recognize their faces, we love their faces, or if it's a relatability thing, because when a lot of us were watching these people, like we were, like teenagers or in college, kind of going through the same kind of party lifestyle that they were in at that moment. And now they're back and they're parents and they've got careers and it's the same stage that we're in our life now. So it's like, I wonder if maybe like that's a little bit of the disconnect happening on the flagship, is that not only are those people there for a different type of reason, but there's not a lot of relatability there for a lot of us people who were, a little bit older.
You know where it fucks me up? It really fucks me up when they show Rachel and you're looking at Rachel and then her cast photo from Road Rules is down on the bottom.
All of them.
And I look at Rachel now and I see her, and then I look down the bottom and all of a sudden I get my 16-year-old crush.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
What's happening?
Well, I saw the other day somebody had taken a picture of when Cara was up for a confessional on the screen and had her little, picture from Fresh Meat down in the bottom. Somebody had taken a screenshot of it and posted it into a fan group on Facebook.
I saw that, yeah.
And was like, why did they put some random girl's picture down here? That's not even Cara. And everybody's in the comments like, yes, it is, honey. That's literally what she looked like when she started the challenge. She didn't have all the red hair and the stuff. She had fucking just sleek brown hair, and she was just a little like, that's legit. You could go look up the picture. That's Cara for sure.
You could go watch the season.
Literally, like
you could do that.
But so it's so funny to just see like even just that growth of just like, how they've changed just physically even.
It's the same reason we flock to the reboots of shows that we grew up watching.
Exactly.
Comfort. Yeah.
100%.
It's comfort. Like it's progression, because you look at like, I watched Girl Meets World when it's Corey and Topanga's kid, and like Corey's a teacher. And I was like, cool. I also have kids. And then you look at everything and you're like, right. I watched Boy Meets World at the exact same time that they were going through all the grades that I was going through. And now I am a parent.
Exactly. Yeah. And it happens. Like we introduced our boys, our older boys, to like Boy Meets World and Saved by the Bell and stuff like that, because they're right around that age of like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, like right around there, so it's like we introduced them to their show and they loved them. So it's just, it's like, I think it's kind of that relatability thing of kind of being in that same spot in your life where you can relate to these people that you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, especially if you're in the same age bracket that we are, which is your 30s, it's the nostalgia effect. And the nostalgia effect, no matter what, will always reign supreme.
I mean, look behind me.
Yeah. And the minute you start playing a guy that I remember seeing when I was fucking 14, or a girl that I remember seeing all the time when I was 16, 17, and you're playing songs that work with that timeline.
Yes, I love that.
It's gonna suck me in every time.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a hypothetical, and it's just strictly hypothetical about this, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Yeah.
Is let's say Adam decided he wanted to go down there, right? And he beat Syrus, and he gets to steal a star. He decides to steal Tina's star and give it to Avery.
Mm-hmm.
Then Rachel goes down there, wins, and decides to steal a woman's star. Is Avery's star able to be taken?
I don't think so, because she's the winner.
Because Kefla took Brad's star.
Oh yeah, and it was taken off the table.
And then Rachel asked if she had to take a star. TJ said yes, but it didn't have to be a woman's. And then he said Steve's is still up for grabs. Right,
not Steve and Brad. So if it's taken, that's it.
You can't just like take it from the person beside you and be like, haha, fucker.
It sucks to be you.
I wish it was like Secret Santa, because that would make it like a hot commodity.
Secret Santa.
Yeah, fucking. Or no, it's not Secret Santa. What's the other one? It's
White Elephant.
White Elephant.
There you go. Yeah.
Stats and info.
Anyway, so obviously, Kefla and Rachel win this. Kefla takes Brad's star. What do you guys think? Smart or not?
Yeah.
What was his other option? Like
Steve?
No.
Steve
don't take it from Brad.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's too early. It doesn't matter. Like, those stars are going to be passed around like week to week.
Like challengers?
Yeah. I didn't want to say it. I realized like when I got to that part of the sentence, I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but nowhere's good.
That's all right. I said it for us.
Exactly. Like Brad said, like you might want to think about that. It's like there's nothing to think about. It's episode 3.
Yeah.
Everybody's star is going to be taken at some point.
They're just feeding us bullshit lines at this point. Yeah. It's no different than Veronica saying, I know we're not on vacation.
Shut the fuck up, Veronica. Okay, just sit down.
Out here looking like someone's Tia.
Just sit down, okay?
I absolutely loved Tina's reaction to Rachel taking her star. I worked so hard for that.
That shit was hilarious.
It was amazing. I do want to say really quick, because I have seen this situation discussed a lot, and I'm not quite sure where the disconnect is happening. So I figure maybe I'll just say it. I see a lot of people confused about why Rachel did what she did and thinking that it was a move against Tina. No. It definitely was not. This was Rachel's way of holding her agreement to Kara by not taking Kara's star. And then still, she had to take a star. She didn't want to take Steve's because Steve is also part of her, like people who are working with her. So she took from one of her alliance members and gave it to the other alliance member. She kept it in their circle of 3. And so, no, I don't think that because I think what's happening is people are seeing the little moment between Rachel and Tina that's previewed for next episode. And they're like, oh, Rachel did this against Tina, and now Tina's going to get mad about it and whatever, and they're going to fight about it. And it's like, I don't think that between them has anything to do with Rachel taking her star. I think Tina realizes what happened and that was Rachel's literal only fucking option. What else was she going to do?
It was the most calculated move that Rachel could have made. And it shows how much Rachel's head is in the game.
Exactly.
Because it keeps her agreement with Kara, who already held up her side of the bargain. Steve's got her back. All this does is it transfers from one to the other, like you said. But if you're looking at the 2 people that are in your alliance that you need to get to the end, like, because your ideal 3 women are you and your 2 best friends, then Tina is like, Veronica, love her to death, but Tina is more likely to get another chance to get a star and 100%, get a star 100%. Than Veronica is. So if you give her that one, Rachel could win another one. Tina could presumably win one as well, in which case they can take the other star and make sure Tina has one too.
Exactly.
But that's the move that keeps all the relationships intact. I really also didn't like the fact that Kam said that Rachel is playing a scared game.
Mm-mm.
She's actually she's playing a high level game that like she figured that out. She probably thought about it a bit before, but you could tell she was figuring that out on the fly and doing all the calculations. That is the move. Like, that is the best move.
I love Kam, but that was the dumbest shit she's ever said.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, if you're looking at Rachel's game and saying it's a scared game, then you're not obviously paying attention to what Rachel's doing.
It's calculated.
It's calculated.
Yeah.
And if anything right now, I hate to say it, Kam's playing a scared game. She's going in there. Thank you for voting with me. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't even know if I would say scared, but messy for sure. I think messy. I think Kam's definitely playing a messy game. But yeah,
it's early too, and she's out of practice, and get her back into it, and I think she'll do a lot better. But that pretty much wraps up this episode. MVPs, I'm gonna give 2 because it was a double elimination. So, oh wait, Katie, I know you said you wanted to add something earlier.
It was just for line of the night, so we're good. We're good.
We're still getting that. So MVP though, for me, I'm just gonna keep it quick. Guy and girl is Kefla going Super Saiyan, win his first elimination, and then obviously Rachel for all the reasons we said this episode is who I'm going with. Katie, who are you gonna go with?
I'm really torn because originally I was gonna do Adam and Avery just because I love that they've won like back to back. Well, I guess it wasn't back to back. They've been doing really good this season already.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I didn't expect it out of them, but with both of them being out of the game with all the people they're up against, I did not think that they'd be number 1 to them. And that's not to knock them at all.
Yeah.
But with the elimination round, I feel like I have to copy Rick, and it's Kefla and Rachel. Like, Rachel's political game is already so just...
It's so well played, yeah.
It's so good. So I feel like they get it.
Fair. For me, personally, big props to Rachel and Kefla. However, for me, those were expected wins. I kind of expected them to win, but Adam and Avery beating Ace and Kara shocked the fuck out of me. So I am going to give my MVPs to Adam and Avery for like shocking me and pulling out something that I don't want to say they weren't supposed to win, but like that was probably very difficult because Ace and Kara were right there. So I'm going to give my MVPs to them with honorable mention going to Kefla and Rachel.
Was it them winning the daily that shocked you, or finding out that they've been dating for a year that shocked you?
I love them.
Tony, who you got?
I am completely hive-minding with Corrina right now. I've got Avery and Adam.
Katie.
We got this.
Yeah, exactly. Switched it up for tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Avery and Adam pulled out an impressive win. Like, if you look at this from the point of view of everybody picked their partners, so they, in some ways, they went up against the ideal pairs for some of those individuals, and they still came out on top. They've been out of the game, as Katie said, but they've also got less experience in more current seasons than some of the people that are on there, and they still came out on top. So absolutely, Adam and Avery, honorable mention, Kefla and Rachel, because they also did amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to the rest of this season because everybody has elevated their game to such a level that like there are no weak links in this season.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Who's your line of the night, Katie?
Okay, so it's either Leroy's I'm Not Dr. Phil or Tina got me good in the beginning when she said, I think I have some magic beans in my pocket. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but that was a good one for me.
That is pretty funny.
Dominoes, motherfucker.
I think for my
gets line of the night.
I was going to say for mine, I've either got to give it to either TJ or I got to give it to Brandon for if I could vote for Ayanna twice, I would, but that would mean she's coming back.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one, yeah.
Fucking savage, Brandon. So, but yeah, fantastic episode. Every episode that comes out of All Stars 4 makes me more excited for the next episode of All Stars 4. And I haven't just been this happy with a season in a while. So I'm loving it. And it sounds like the fandom is too for the most part. So that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
How can you not love a rainbow?
No. Oh, how can you not? Just like glitter.
How can you not like the cold side of a pillow?
How could you not love these nails? I'm sorry. I got to show them off because Alexis asked me to.
I love them.
How could you not love the harp sound? And how could you not love spending the last hour and 30 to 2 hours with us, just depending on how long this edit turns out?
I still get a quote.
Oh, yeah. Line of the night.
So it's between Brandon's, which you said. So I'm going to go with Jazz. And how do I put this nicely? Toxic as fuck. I can't find any sage or holy water, so I need Rachel to be a priest and take her out.
That was another one of mine too. I can't believe I forgot to bring it up.
That was pretty funny.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, that
and
was
also
good.
Tina's screaming when Rachel took her star.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's fair. Honorable mention to Laurel's beanie.
Yes.
Oh, and you know what else? What moment really got me? It was super corny, but it was funny. It's like when after Rachel wins the elimination or whatever, and she just turns around and faces the arena. She's like, "Give me all the stars!" It gave me total gladiator vibes.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? I loved it. I fucking loved it. So honorable mention to Rachel for that moment because that was great.
Yes, that was good.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up. Wrappers it up. Skirt.
Wicket.
So of episode 3. But guess what? We'll be back next week recapping episode 4 with you guys. Might even have a special guest. Just gonna have to tune in and see. For the time being, though, you're just gonna have to enjoy this episode. So for myself, Ricky Hayes, my beautiful wife, Corrina Hayes, Tony, Stats and Info Lance, and of course, Katie, Bad Blood Pahura.
You're going to have to pick a new song eventually.
No, fuck that. Kendrick's on
it's
it.
It's just going to be bad.
Kendrick's on it.
It fits.
Exactly.
It does.
We do got a new one with Posty.
It's
Just
not
saying.
Kendrick. It's not K-Dot.
It's not him, but it's Posty. It's not, but it's so good.
Not K-Dot.
It was the only one I've listened to.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning into the Challenge Fandom Podcast. If you want to know more about Taylor Swift, hit up one of these two. They'll tell you all about it. If you could, make sure you download the episode. It doesn't actually take up any memory on your phone, just the actual application. And if you would feel extra spicy, you want to leave us a 5-star review, we would absolutely appreciate it. If you want to leave us a 1-star review, please do so at Biodomer on Instagram. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be good to each other. We love y'all. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Dominoes, motherfucker.
What's happening?
Take me down like I'm a domino.